So let's start with her Kwando being back. She has this really good string. It's forward 2. And it actually starts with an overhead. It has a ton of range. It's not the fastest. It's like over 20 frames.
Okay.
But it has a couple of options out of it. If you just do forward 2-1 by itself, it's actually punishable on block. So you want to do the extensions. And there's this mid attack. And that is safe, but it has a huge gap that you can flawless block.
Okay.
And then there's this low, and that is actually unsafe on block, but it doesn't have a gap.
Right.
So the idea is you mix up going into special moves, just doing forward 2-1, and then doing the 2 extension. The opponent has to guess. Do they want to flawless block?
Right.
Do they want to just block it?
So for a layman or someone like, would you compare this sort of mix-up with that move to what Shang Tsung does with his kick move?
Yes.
Where you have to make a decision on that?
Yeah. There's no way that she can just 100% make it safe, and she can just spam it, but she has different meta game based on just that string.
Okay.
So then to complement that, and that's her overhead, she has a really awesome low. So that is back 2, and that actually pops the opponent up, and she can get a combo. And this move is safe-ish. The opponent can punish it with stuff like Sub-Zero Slide or some very fast, long-ranging normals, but it's going to be very difficult because you can see on block, she actually goes backwards. So, like Nightwolf's forward 1 might be able to punish it if she does it really close, but from like there, it's not going to reach.
Gotcha.
Then she has forward 4. And this, to me, this is her go-to move. This is the #1 move, in my opinion. This is like her, you can't go wrong doing this move. And this move is a very, very fast mid that has very good range, and the follow-up goes in the air. So the cool thing about this is if the opponent happens to be jumping, it's going to actually fully hit them up.
Okay.
Now, it's short, so she can't hit confirm it into a combo. She doesn't get a pop-up. The reward is not great. But there's like very little risk for doing it, and it really controls space really, really well. This move, in my opinion, is the glue that puts her together. It sets up everything. Like, this is the move you do to condition them not to jump around, not to attack, not to hit buttons. So then she can do her other attacks. So then the last normal I want to show is her back 3. And this is a pretty quick mid that has a couple of extensions that are good. So the first one, this is an overhead. If they're ducking, it'll hit them, but it's unsafe on block. But then she has this butt where she screams, propels herself. And this is a high, but it's plus on block.
Gotcha.
So the idea there is if they're just blocking because they think they're going to do the uppercut or the overhead, you would do the high and then you get plus frames.
And those who saw the trailer will know that that is also a crushing blow.
Yes, and that is for only the last attack hitting.
Which I would say in this game, my favorite thing is having characters that do that, and when people are knocked down, using that sort of Oki to like get that out. That's so much fun.
Because it actually advances forward really good. And the other thing is, if they're blocking it, and they try to like, let go of block because they think you're going to cut it short, because you're going to go for a throw or whatever, if they hit any button at all or just aren't blocking, they're going to get hit in the face and crushing blow. She also has a really good uppercut.
That's the uppercut.
Yeah, it's very, very good. And she's one of the few characters that has a throw crushing blow on both throws. And I think that's another key thing that makes her a really good mix-up character.
Right.
And the requirement for those are the standard. If they try to escape, it's loaded, and then the next one, you get it.
But if you break a throw, it's unloaded.
Right.
Yeah.
But her having it on both sides is very, very good. One more unique thing is her hop attack has a ton of range, and her kick one is actually multiple hits, which is
that
pretty
the
interesting
only one with multiple hits? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I was about to say it's the first, and I don't think I'm wrong.
I think, yeah. She does have a lot of range, kind of. I mean, her and Shao Kahn kind of have some of the most hop attack range in the game now.
Well, they have the audacity to use weapons in a fist fight.
Yeah,
which is just smart.
Right.
All right, so let's go over her special moves. The first one is the Scream is back, and I love the audio and I love the Banshee effect. That is so cool.
Awesome.
I love its hair waving. So normally when it hits, she gets a lot of advantage. She does not get a combo. That's actually In MK3, they would always she gets a full combo. Now
Right.
she just gets advantage. So you can see a lot of times I'll do this. And from here, you basically will run up and throw. You can do a down one. You can condition them with this. So like, if you think they're gonna hit a button, that'll hit them out of it. And then once they stop hitting buttons, you can do a 50-50. You can do whatever you want. But she can actually charge this as well. If she starts glowing, that means it's charged. And when it hits, she then does get a full combo. She can also amplify it to make it go very, very far. You see, normally it doesn't really travel that far, but if she amplifies it, it goes nearly full screen.
Amplify and hold it?
Yes. Well, no. You can hold it
Right.
and then amplify.
Gotcha.
She can also cancel it. Now that takes defensive stamina, but you can use that for pressure. And then, of course, you have the mix-up of you're holding it, and you could use it at any time, or you can actually cancel it and go for a throw or her back two.
Right.
Or you could go in another string or whatever you want to do.
Her back two is fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I think it's definitely one of her best normals. So she also has main squeeze, this is like totally your combo ender. You're going to enter most combos in it, or strings on, like you see, you hit confirm. If you amplify it, you get a good damage, and she can actually control which way to throw them.
Can I try the combo you taught me later?
Yes.
No, I don't do it right now. Let's go through all of it so they know what's all involved, right?
All right, fair enough. So her last base move is her hover. She starts hovering. You can do that in the air, or just do it on the ground and she'll go up. And from there, it's a mobility tool. She can backdash, she can drop down. She normally does not have special moves that she can do from it. That's actually an ability where she gains like a burst and a fireball. So this would be useful for faking the opponent out. You can jump in and actually just drop down. Yeah. If Aaron Black throws his acid, you can use it to avoid it and go in. And the dash is pretty quick, and it doesn't cost stamina to drop down.
Well, and currently too, like a lot of to avoid wake ups and stuff, people are jumping a lot, or to avoid getting hit as they're off the ground. People are jumping a lot. Now with Sindel, you can jump in the air and stay there for a second, and then next time you don't do it. One time you go over them. There's some stuff you can do just like to deal with like being knocked down too.
She also has a few air moves in Variation 2 that really go well with this that I'm going to show in a second.
All right.
So that's her base loadout.
All right.
Oh, we can go over Crushing Blow as well.
Yes.
This thing, I think, has a very good into because it's quick and takes up a ton of space. I use this as a whip punisher and an anti-air.
Okay.
Oh, another thing I wanted to talk about is her Scream has a Crushing Blow for being a punish or a counter hit.
Okay.
And I think that is great, especially the amplified one. Like, I'll kind of hover at this distance, and if I just see movement, I can quickly do that. And then that gives her a full combo if it hits. So that's a pretty rad.
I do that a lot with Kano's back boot.
Exactly,
And you
yeah.
just wait for a slight
Wait for
bit of
movement, and you're going to beat it out. So let's go over loadout 1. And all 3 loadouts I set up are her tournament variations.
Cool.
So this can give you an idea of what you can use in Combat League. The first move she gets is Haircut, which is a anti-air and a combo tool. If she amplifies it, she actually gets a pop-up. And this is totally like her combo variation. This is the one you'll use if you just want to play simple, play footsies, do 50-50s, and get damage.
Okay.
The second move she gets is Hair Flip, which is this thing. It's an overhead, and that will flip them over. She can do it in the air, she can do close, medium, or far versions. And that complements the low, and it has a Crushing Blow that pops up if she punishes a low attack. Oh. So, this is the variation that has the combo. Do you think you can do it?
Yes.
How many tries?
What do you think?
I say you get it on the 3rd try.
John?
First try.
Wow.
Can I remember what the first part is before I do it? Or just tell me. It's 4, 2, 1?
Yes.
Okay. Oh!
Yeah, I actually thought you were going to get it. Now you're freaked out and you won't get it.
Nah. That wasn't it.
That's not it, but it was close.
This is 3.
3, you got it.
Got in 3. I'm getting better. Not by much, but getting better.
All right, so that's variation 1. Like I said, this is the simple one. You don't want to mess with traps. You don't want to mess with mobility. You just want to hit your moves, do your overhead low, get your damage, get out. Let's go to variation 2 because this is the opposite. This is the weird one. This is the Heroic Legacy weird. You like stances and tricks and traps and setups. The Sonic Fox variation. So in this one, she gains a different screen.
One moment before we move on. That outfit.
Yeah, I'm all in on the mask.
The mask is
I
rad.
also really like the pink.
Yeah. Loud and clear with a K.
Yes.
Good.
So her scream changes, and she gets this walking scream. So she'll walk with the Banshee, and you can let it go at any time. And if you walk several steps, I think it's 3, you get a crushing blow. And that gives you a combo.
Oh.
She can also at any time amplify it, and she gets a multi-hitting one. This does a ton of chip, it knocks them back, it does good damage. It's punishable, but it's a very awkward punishable. There's very long block stun. It's going to be a great day 1 strat.
Really good to use at the end of a match too.
Yeah. And because it's multiple hits, it's going to kill their last breath. She also still has her regular scream, but it's actually a little bit different. It is a high instead of a mid, and the frames are slightly different. So she still gets that scream. It's not like it's a replacement, but it's like a modifier of it, which is a unique mechanic. She also gets this air scream. This is very similar to Katana's float. And she has this version and a far version. And this, she can do normals from it, so she can use it to close the gap. She can also do stuff like fly after it, so she can go over the opponent and then start flying.
All right.
So this is definitely the mobility version.
Let's take one moment real quick. Let's mute the mic. We got a little mic issue we're going to fix real quick.
Okay.
Let's mute the mics real quick.
Keep playing.
We're live, pal.
Okay. And her third move is the...
I love how you discontinued from 30 seconds ago. All right, and the last move.
Well, I think it would be awkward to... Like, what am I supposed to do?
No, I think it was cool. I thought it was cool.
So this move is a nifty projectile, and if you amplify it, she will follow it, and then she gets a jump in. So this complements the other moves. For example, she can do it after this. She can go behind them and do it. And because of the way she warps, it's really good for trades and stuff like that. So I think this is kind of a little bit of a zoning, but mostly air mobility variation. It's definitely like the complicated, creative one. If you're not like me and you don't want simple, I think this one is really, really cool. So let's go to the third, and this is the one that I use. I'm a big fan of this one.
A big proponent.
Yes. So this one is definitely the most zony. I'm a huge fan of her human
Those
outfit.
sleeves are really cool.
That is so rad. You can also change her hair. That's one of her third things. She has, you can get rid of the black, the skunk thing. You can see it's a little spiky at the top. It's very cool. So the first thing she gains is low fireball. This is totally the reason I use this variation. I need a fireball. I need that space control. The amplified knocks them down and does really good damage. So this is rad because it actually goes under a lot of stuff. Like if he tries to do an arrow, you can just totally go under it. I went under Baraka's blade, Terminator shotgun. I think it is an awesome space control tool. She also gains these dive bomb moves where it's a 3-hitting, knocks down, and if she amplifies it, she gets a combo. And the last hit is actually a low if she amplifies it. And I think this is great for like faking out jump ins. Like you condition them to start anti-airing, then you do it early, they try to uppercut you, you're gonna get it. You can also use it with jump back, which is what I do. Like in the mid range, when you're using 4-2 and this, they might want to jump in to get past it. Jump back, you see the whiff and you do that.
Oh, right on.
And then lastly, she gains this magic orb. And this, once it's on screen, if the opponent is close, those are unblockable and they do slight damage. So this is an awesome round ender. You just kind of, if you have like 50% and they only have like 1%, you can put these out and they have to either back off or die. And it can kill them. Like if they go up and throw you, they'll stay out. And
How far does it track?
it's not that far. Like if I'm here.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So these aren't just auto win.
So if you're in the corner and they're in the corner, it's like, well.
And there's also a lot of recovery. Like you could do it, if you knock down and do it, you could probably do a wake up attack. And so yeah, that's variation 3. I think this one, like 1, is pretty simple to use. It's a little zony, good space control. You're not gonna have big combos. That's like the one downside to it.
Right.
So you kind of have to weigh, do you want the fireball or the combos? And
Gotcha.
me personally, I want fireball, but that's just me.
Sure. And the low fireball is what got you into the character, into this
Absolutely, yeah.
variation of the character.
Into that variation, yeah.
Right on. Cool. Real quick, we're going to tell you that the Sindel Tower is slated to go live on 12/3, the a la carte date. So there you go. That's when we'll be able to do the Sindel Tower.
I am
It's a little later this time around. So
very hyped to see people play her. I think she is a lot of fun to play.